Sorry about that, someone at the door, part 3. Okay, so
You'll tune into all that.
yeah.
Pull it apart.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some past negative experiences that are messing with this ability to just let things go.
So that's nervous system.
Yeah.
They
The
could
whole
look-
sympathetic nervous
They
system's
could look up
overloaded.
some vagal nerve tuning
Vagal nerve tuning, yep.
on YouTube.
Yep.
And humming is really good. Sounds because it's where the receptors are. So
Yeah. Well, humming and singing and
yeah, it's
that
hard
ear
to
rolling.
get the kids to do it. Like my kid, I can't get him to do anything, but
yeah. I'm feeling so sad before bed, it doesn't allow for a restful night's
and
sleep.
seeing other kids.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just get you to tune in to that feeling of
Helpless.
helplessness and inadequacy, you know.
And also
so
not being able to take the. Just trying to think of that.
yeah.
Like a negative reaction to authority.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, okay. That reminds me, there is a flower essence here. We'll do a few drops of red helmet orchid. It's one of the ones I love for rebellion.
But often you trigger. Do you know what I mean? Like from past experiences.
Yeah.
It's a triggering, so that's really hard to.
So red helmet orchid is it's for rebelliousness, hot-headedness. It comes across as selfishness, but these people have to set their boundaries for some reason. There's usually a reason from their past where they have to set their boundaries. So the positives about this are about male bonding, sensitivity, respect, consideration. The affirmations, let's just have a look. And I know it's the wrong terminology at this age, but I now express greater care and gentleness in my relationships. Hold out. Because sometimes kids are just trying to get through every day. Their poor little brains aren't even thinking about how they come across in the world. All they're trying to do is get hurt less. You know, they just don't want to feel awful all the time. And I'll put the other one in because it's showing up, but again, I know it's not the terminology that he would be using. I am now able to communicate easily with those in authority. Hold out. So they're both testing up for him. So we'll do a couple of drops. I've got it. Yeah, so 3 drops under the tongue. Okay. And we had to stack in a few of the things, you know, so so let's just get you to say, I am loved.
I am loved.
And hold out. And just thinking about that energy before bed, feeling upset, not knowing why, and feeling like you're on the edge of tears. Hold out. Yeah, so an old pain punishment circuit. Yeah, so there's a deep hidden survival pattern that will pop in as well.
Be a circulation thing with the feet.
Yeah.
Or more of a nerve energy thing?
Um, well, it can be things like, shoes that are too tight, never getting barefoot, never getting outdoors, into the, sand and grass and dirt and that sort of thing. So the bones, when they're in shoes all day, every day, it's quite a different structure. It's not very good for our feet on planet Earth. But yeah, sometimes some reflexology or foot massage, or, I think we mentioned last time, the vibrator guns on the bottom of the feet can be really beneficial, as can things like, terahertz wands, so being able to do something like that. In fact, if you ever borrowed the terahertz wand? Another toy you can take home for the family for a few days. Yeah, so terahertz, a good terahertz wand like this one from Solex. You can set the temperature. You can, it basically has red and blue light for healing, as well as the chakra crystals and terahertz frequencies. But a vibrator gun, can use on the bottom of the feet as well to wake up all those bones and move that lymph. Having the legs up the wall, but like David says, yeah.
So good. You can get that fairly cheap now.
Yeah, some of them don't do it because they're the wrong vibration. You've got to get really specific vibrations to make them work properly. So some of them cause more damage. It was like years and years ago, there was a machine called a Zenshi, which was like a wobble machine.
And I remember that when you lay down and put your feet on it. Yeah,
so mine was $800 and I still have it to this day and it just feels awesome. But the new ones, which are $150, they go too fast. They're like, their feet are too close together. They're not as well thought out.
I think meant a hand massage or like a...
Yeah, but some of them are terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, some of them, they can get into a gristly, but about moving the lymph and moving bones, you've got to be careful. So there is let's have a look. So survival switching, deep survival, hidden deep survival, yeah. So that's the one that showed up before, the hidden deep survival. We've got the rebelliousness, hot-headed energy in there, which again is usually about protection. Yeah, so from the 5-element perspective, it's showing up in the liver energy, which is to do with, internalized anger, feeling distressed, feeling resentful, having a hard time forgiving, feeling really unhappy. Yeah, and just a lack of feeling content. So what I might do actually before I go into the survival pattern, I'll just ask the energy mismatch point around some of the neurotransmitters and make sure that the body is recognizing them and knowing what to do. So firstly, let's ask around serotonin. And hold. Oh. No, so there's an energy mismatch to serotonin, which means the body doesn't know whether it's good or bad, and sometimes, especially with survival stuff, it's bad because the nervous system doesn't want you to relax and be happy, because then the tiger will pounce.
You can look up different activities that help produce serotonin.
Well, I suspect we're not going to have just one out.
No, right. Oh, well, the happiness hormones, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins.
America needs a little serotonin today. America.
Oh.
Just awful. Okay, in relation to serotonin, and hold. Beautiful. Let's ask around oxytocin, and hold. Yeah, so oxytocin's low as well. Not as bad as serotonin, but oxytocin is like the nurturing, caring, loving.
Different, touching, affection.
And sometimes, especially when kids are in survival, even if you're hugging them, they don't get anything out of it because they're in such a space of... They get spiky? Yeah.
That's what I call my son, Spiky. He's an ADHD and a bit autistic, and he doesn't really hug very well. He doesn't hug. With everything sensitive.
As his nervous system improves, so shall that.
Oh well, I make it happen.
Okay, oxytocin, beautiful.
Hey.
Let's ask about dopamine and hold. And one of the other, dopamine seems okay.
Weird.
Hold,
Seems like,
hold,
oh yeah.
hold.
Oh yeah.
So
Dopamine's good.
dopamine's okay. Melatonin. Hold.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So melatonin, oxytocin, serotonin, all out of whack. The body not knowing what to do with them.
Oxytocin, serotonin,
And melatonin.
melatonin.
So that sounds like the intestines. I was thinking that before, Belinda, so even a really good probiotic for the gut, because because I know that the supplements are really challenging at their age. So maybe, but a good probiotic you can hide in lots of stuff because it has so little taste. So that could be something that you could get in,
Melatonin's pretty tasteless.
Yeah, but they're in New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to think, where are they in the world and can they get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you don't want to give a synthetic one if we can stimulate the body to make itself.
Well, less blue light.
Yeah, the blue light before bed, phones and devices and that sort of thing. Because it definitely messes with kids' brain and their happiness.
They destabilise the melatonin production.
Okay. Any other neurotransmitters we should balance? Okay, so now let's get into the deep hidden survival pattern. Do we need to do celestial circuit? Do we need to do chiron point? So we can get straight into the hidden deep survival pattern. Yep. Oh, the others might show up, but not yet. Not at all. Okay, so let's see, where do we need to go in the deep hidden survival pattern? Okay, so you mentioned perfectionism before?
Well, it seems that,
Yeah, so when you have a fear of being seen as being wrong or doing something wrong, so anterior cingulate gyrus is a part of the brain that picks on yourself as soon as something happened, because in case other people see you as doing the wrong thing. And hold out. Hold up. Yeah, so this little part of the brain wants us to be perfect socially. And that one there is actually switching the pleasure reward centers off, which means that the act of going out there into the world is putting stress on him, so that, so much pressure to be perfect out there in the world, the body, it's already switching the pleasure reward centers off before he even goes out into the world. So that's not a very nice place to be in his brain. Okay, and the next little area is the orbitofrontal cortex, and this one's to do with it's to do with conflict. Should I, shouldn't I, will I, won't I? And especially, I don't know, being a teenager or preteen these days, again, everything's so hard. They reckon if, is it by the time kids are about 9, we have so little influence on them, out there in the world, because, their entire day is other people.
Oh, the influence of their friends. That's more in a bit into teenage. Yeah. 14 or 15.
No, I saw something yesterday that was talking about it way earlier than that.
Yeah. The statistics are a bit older.
And hold. But anyway, that one's to do with the gyrus that sits just in underneath the logical creative. So when this conflict is there, and especially when we're, not connecting with people we love, like it's a really hard thing when you are outwardly angry at the people in your world who have your back. Like, it's not a fun place to be in these brains. I would never do teenage years again. Oh, okay, so the next little area showing up is the periventricular grey matter. So this is the behavioural reaction. So what do we do? What's in our activity when we are in fight and flight? And hold. Hold. Yeah, so as kids in my household, we were punchers. So, you know, even as an adult, when you're hanging around your brother and sister and they annoy you, you know, it's easy to punch someone. And then you go, hang on, I'm 50 years old, don't do that anymore. But it's a behavioural reaction that comes in, that's a pattern that's set in the unconscious brain for when we're under fight and flight. So the brain creates these little patterns, so it's easier to deal with stress when we've got an automatic reaction that happens in the background. Some people clean, some people, you know, mow the lawn, some people, you know, they do all sorts of things. Go for a 10K run. So everyone's sort of, some people just stay and argue, you know, and that's all, or go get drunk. So there's lots of things people do as that response, that behavioural response when we're in fight and flight. And it's often not till after the fact that you go, oh, right, I was really triggered. Too late.
I think they do take a deep breath.
Take a nice deep, well, that's the problem. You don't think of it in those moments.
No, but if you can think of it, if you take it and hold it, if you get like that and hold it, it slows you down a bit.
So why do you hold the breath?
Because when we're stressed, our current breathing formats half the problem. We're breathing shallow or...
Yeah, so we're breathing and adding to the response.
Right, so by
Yeah.
holding it, if you can take 3 nice slow breaths, you
Yeah.
can release the trigger often.
Yeah.
But depends if you're triggered by other people, because then that's the two double thing.
So I'm in the sympathetic nervous system now, and the first organ that's jumped up and down at me is the lung energy. So exactly like David was just saying, when we're in stress and trauma, we breathe shallow. So we only use about the upper third of the lungs. So when we're in stress, when we're in trauma, when we're feeling like we're in trouble or like everybody hates us, you know, all of that energy, it's really low vibrational energy coming from shame and guilt and fight and flight and blame and stuff like that. It's low vibrational energy, so the lungs do take a bit of a beating.
Loss in breath too.
Grief, guilt, regret. Yeah, hold. Hold back. Right more so than the left. Cup. One of my very first clients that I had for scoliosis going back 25 plus years ago, and I can't remember the percentage, but her curvature of her spine was it was either close to 20% or close to 30%, and there's a certain change to the spine that they allowed before they go in and do the scoliosis operation. And part of the reason for that is the bigger the scoliosis gets, the more pressure it puts on the lungs and people start not being able to breathe as easily.
Oh, really?
And again, that's why I love structural balancing, because you're just constantly bringing your body back into balance. And again, hold back, that's better.
That's working.
Hold, beautiful.
Still so bizarre. You can hold it, hold. I'm the same.
Yeah, stomach energy is now showing up. Stomach is an imbalance with sympathy and empathy. And again, hold. When we're teenagers and our brain is still formulating, we don't have a lot of empathy a lot of the time for the people around us. Again, because our brain is so busy.
Not only that, the prefrontal cortex grows last, and it doesn't finish growing till 25, and that's the bit that regulates that.
Yeah, fun.
Now you're getting through those.
Hold. Hold. Large intestines is showing up. So there's a couple of large intestine muscles. One's in the lower back, which you can imagine if that one's not active, then it's hard to keep that spine nice and stable. And the other one's the side of the legs. So firstly, hold on to the edges of the table for me, David. Don't let me pull to the right. Yep, nothing there. And hold out, don't let me pull to the left. Okay, not awesome. And then the fascia lata, no, I got it. Hold up for me. That one's good?
Yep.
Fascia lata, hold up for me. No, so they're fine. So it's really that, so it basically is in and around that sacrum in the lower back. So when that, and it's also to do with, it feeds in with the lung energy because it's large intestine. So they are the yin and yang of the same element, and so they're both about grief, guilt, regret. Let's see if anything jumps up and down. Okay, so depressed, openness. Too much openness, not enough openness. Disdain, so really just putting some things on that I don't want to deal with it. Self-worth, self-love, intolerance, right? So there's a few things going on in that large intestine lung energy imbalance. Okay, so spleen energy, a spleen pancreas is showing up. So a couple of the things that you mentioned, you know, the thirst as well as, so a few of the things sounded potentially a bit pancreatic. So when we are stressed, our cortisol gets high and that can make us thirsty and want to eat sweets and sugar and stuff like that.
Because of the kidneys, right?
Well, because the body is craving feeling good. So the nervous system goes, I don't care, I just want to do whatever I need. You know, it's like eating your emotions. Hold into the hip for me. Hold into the hip. But it can eventually affect the kidneys because you can imagine if you're craving sugar and sweets and, you know, grains all the time, then your body is getting really acidic, and then your body's organs that create bicarb soda are your gallbladder, your pancreas, your kidneys, and your small intestines. So when we're not the gallbladder, sorry, that's a furphy. But yeah, it's really important for our body to be more alkaline, so even more water, more Celtic sea salt, you know, get those good sea salts in.
A little bit of bicarb?
Yeah, well, again, hard to get kids to take stuff, but you know, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon morning and night.
In water.
And I don't know what his diet's like, Belinda, but you know, maybe even something with a little bit of fat before bed, some avocado or some apple, or no, sorry, not apple, or some cheese or cottage cheese or some yogurt or something to try to keep his blood sugar balanced throughout the night, because it's unlikely he'll have apple cider vinegar. But if we train him at this age to, you know, have his Celtic sea salt on his tongue regularly throughout the day. I've got Teddy doing that.
Before you drink water.
Hold into the hip. Pardon?
Before you drink water.
Celtic sea salt?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. On the tongue anytime. Hold in. Because it stimulates the gastric juices.
Oh, okay.
And just about everyone on the planet has got underactive digestion rather than overactive.
Not enough iodine, either.
Definitely not enough iodine.
There's a shortage of iodine.
Well, they've created such a fear factor for pregnant women over the last 30 years around iodine.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's plastered on every pregnancy thing. You know, 299 IUs is the maximum we're allowed in Australia. And now we've got 70% of kids being born with an underactive thyroid. So, gee, it's worked. Well, that's if we're trying to create ill health. What did Kennedy say the other day? We've got 70 in America, and I'm sure we're not far behind. 76% of kids in America have got chronic disease, which is just atrocious. Okay, so anything else with the sympathetic nervous system? Anything else with the PBSS? Still something else. Let's go in and have a look. But yeah, so Celtic sea salt's an easy thing to add in. Something with some fat before bed is a good idea to keep the blood sugar balanced overnight. It's really hard to get enough apple cider vinegar into little kids, and you know, let's face it, it's not easy for adults to do it either.
No, the adults can't.
Okay, so anything else with the PVSS? So we need something though. Okay, so do we need the celestial circuit? Do we need the chiron point? Ah, okay. So I think he's got linking into any and all leaking chiron point for Jack into double anterior deltoid. And hold, whooshka. So the chiron is the wounded healer.
Yeah,
Did you send me an article about that recently?
I did.
Yeah, so this particular little protocol was given to me by my friend Arik in Europe. So at the moment, Jack's masculine energy is really working hard. So let's see whether the chiron, let's see what percentage leaking the chiron point is. So to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 90. So 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 85, 86, 87. So the chiron point is about 87% leaking.
Oh,
Let's find out where in the body, because it's different on everyone. Right, it's on the quick of the left big toe. So basically the toenail of the big toe, there's a couple of things it links into. It's the beginning of the spleen meridian and the end of the stomach meridian, and those two meridians are in relation to empathy and sympathy. So what I might do is put in the beginning
the outside quick or the inside quick?
well, one is the outside and one's the inside. So one is spleen, one is stomach.
Oh,
So good question. So let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is pop in the beginning and end points of both of them as the correction for this, because I'll be curious to see what happens. So firstly, beginning and end point of spleen. Secondly, beginning and end point of stomach. Okay, and then we have a look. Hold. So it's either balanced or in second stage on the right. Hold. So it's balanced on the right hand side because it's locking, it's unlocking, it's locking again. So that's perfect on the right. Now let's check the ones on the left. So firstly, spleen, spleen, and then stomach, stomach. And hold. So it's an unlock, so it's either first or third stage stress. Hold. Yeah, it's an unlock. So the left side, the meridian flow between the stomach and spleen meridians aren't communicating. So are they... So it's in third stage stress, so it's exhausted. Is it running backwards? Right, so it's running backwards. So it's not feeding the energy on the left side of the body. The left side of the body is the caring, nurturing, loving part of the system. But funnily enough, it's masculine energy we need to help him to heal. You know, and that's what needs to be nurtured, that little masculine energy inside of him that is feeling unworthy, unwelcome, unloved.
Funny, the heart's on the right side, the liver's on the left. Spleens
Opposite.
On the left.
Heart's on the left, liver's on the
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right. You had the positions correct.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just thinking they cross over and the spleens here,
Yeah.
kidney there.
Poor little darling.
Any sort of deep breathing, like, especially slow out of breath, it's calming.
Something I haven't done, Belinda, and maybe I'll send you a message about the cost of it, but I could run their scans every so often as well, so that there's some frequencies that they can listen to every day. One of my clients in yesterday, she's an older woman, very skeptical, and finally after a year I reminded her what the frequencies were for, when she gets her reports from my bioresonance in the inbox. And so we talked it through, and since she's been doing it in the morning. She's got a little ritual where she does her Wim Hof breathing, she puts some creams on her eczema, and now she's listening to her frequencies from the bioresonance, and she can just feel her cellular energy uplifting. So basically there's frequencies from the bioresonance in the easy scan and the inner voice scan that are designed based on your voice, the 7,000 to 8,000 frequencies of your voice that we put into the device to get a distance healing. So that could be an idea as well. Okay, so let's go back and have a look. So again, spleen and then stomach. So before it was third stage stress, hold. So it's either second stage stress or balanced. Push to mush, hold. Okay, so we've gone from third stage stress to second stage stress in association with these two meridians that were running backwards on the left. Spleen and stomach. So what do we need now? So it's not the best technique.
Spleen's a filtering organ.
Oh yeah, it's like a big tonsil.
I don't know what that means. Is it
Tonsils are
filtering
big
like
filter.
the liver and kidney?
Well, the tonsils are filters. That's why they're in our throat. So when we're breathing at things, when we're breathing in, we are taking in toxins and filtering them.
Oh.
That's why we have tonsils and adenoids. So when they get swollen, it's because we're full of toxins. So cleansing them is a much more sensible idea than ripping them out at a drop of a hat. But the throat chakra is messing with this, and don't forget this is about empathy and sympathy. So again, when we're angry and we're feeling unloved and we're feeling unworthy and we're holding on to pasts, which is about keeping us safe, the throat chakra, yeah, so potentially the thyroid. So the throat chakra, let's put in the combo.
Sorry, I just hear the thyroid and spleen and I go iodine.
Yeah. Thyroid and spleen, iodine, that's right. So throat chakra along with the hyoid bone, along with the parietal bones. So as a little combo, hold. So it's either first or third stage stress, hold. Okay, so that one's only first stage stress. That's neat. David and I were talking to a client on Tuesday who runs men's groups, sort of wondering as well, is there anything for, teenage boys that could be really good, like
There's a lot of stuff online actually.
Yeah, but you need humans.
Yeah.
The online stuff isn't so good for humans, and
Yeah. Men's groups is all we for adults.
yeah, no, I was saying the equivalent.
Well, we used to have youth groups when we were kids.
Youth groups and scouts and girl guides, and there was always something going on. And at the very least it was get outside and come in at sundown. Again, let's go back in and check this little guy. So throat chakra, parietals and hyoid bone. And the hyoid bone, you can imagine that is a symbol of teenage years. There's, with all those changes boys are going through as well, that can be.
Oh, that's all grown.
And hold. That's either balanced or second stage stress. Hold. Okay, so that's back to balance, the throat chakra. Hold. So let's go back in and check the beginning and end points of the spleen and stomach. And hold. Hold. Awesome. Okay, so that is back to balanced. So it's not running backwards, draining the energy anymore.
Get some flow.
Got some flow.
Flow's
Exactly. So is it time to recheck the chiron point leakage? Yes, it is. So leakage or sealed leakage. So leaking to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, so 30 to 35. So it's still leaking about 36%. So it's sealed 64%, so that's much better than before. So what do we need to do with the chiron point? Do we need to do the celestial circuit? Do we need to do some brain configuration? Yes, we do. Okay, so Sissy, trust and trust issues. Trust and trust issues. Hold out. Trust and trust issues. Pain and punishment circuit. Blowing the throat chakra again.
Throat has to do with voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking up for yourself, or being confident to say what you need to say. I mean, when you're a kid, it's so hard to interpret what's going on.
Yeah.
It's even hard to interpret what's going on when you're an adult. I don't know how kids manage it all.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Then you've got schools and friends who are given different opinions to your parents and family, and that's all confusing. And nearly always we want to choose anyone other than our parents. They
That's
can't
boring.
possibly know anything. Boring. Yeah. Heart chakra has just shown up. Self-love, self-worth, self-belief. I get Teddy to say, I am awesome. I am awesome. Oh, no, Jack doesn't believe that.
Oh.
There was no energy there. I am awesome.
I am awesome.
Mm. Now I need to fix it first. That's a big one. Okay. Yeah, right. So the frontal cortex, so the sadness, despondency, depression is just shutting down that front of the brain, so the brain just can't even feel anything positive.
Because when you're stressed,
Hold out.
the nerve energy gets stuck in the midbrain, and it doesn't go all the way to the top and round to the front, which is where the prefrontal cortex is.
Say that again, without your hand up there.
When you're stressed, your nerve, because your nerves are all travelling up, and they get stuck in the midbrain in the limbic system, and the nerve energy can't make it all the way to the top of the mid cortex and round to the front cortex. Whereas when you slow your breathing down, the nerve energy can make it all the way up to the top and round to the front if you practice it.
Okay.
Anyway,
So I'm just going to put this little guy on the heart chakra for a sec.
okay, what do we got?
A beautiful quartz that just amplifies.
Oh, nice.
Oh, again, say, I am awesome.
I am awesome.
I am awesome. And hold. And hold out. Beautiful.
That's strong now. What is this crystal?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It amplifies beauty and love. Okay, let's go in and check that deep hidden survival pattern. And hold. Beautiful. I am loved.
I am loved.
And hold. Hold up. Let's check the percentage sealed of the chiron point. Okay, so to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 90, 95, 100. Beautiful. So we're nice and sealed with the chiron point now. Let's also check these gates, see where that little fight response is. Hold up for me. Beautiful. Oh, no, it was same side. Haha. And hold. And hold. Nearly compared apples and oranges. So beautiful. So they're up and running now. So that fight, which was fatigued, like the leg part of the fight, which is, you need to be moving when you're stressed. So when these little guys are exhausted, it's almost like energetically you're just stuck. You're in that space and you're not getting out of it, and that's just an awful space to be. But yeah, I think probiotics would be an easy thing to pop in the diet somewhere. The Celtic sea salt or something similar, Himalayan, is nearly as good, not quite, but you know, it's good. That bit of fat before bed just to try to even out the blood sugar overnight. Because with those blood sugar bits, with my grandson Teddy, I'm always saying, where's your protein and fat? Where's your protein and fat? Because peanut paste. Yeah, what'd you have for dinner? Peanut paste sandwich.
What's the rule? The protein and the fat should be heavier than the
So
carbohydrates.
protein and fat, we should have more of them per meal than carbohydrates. Because the number one reason for diabetes is too many carbs. So if every meal we're thinking, where's my protein, where's my fat, we're helping to balance our blood sugar. If we're trying to lose weight, and I know he's quite thin, but when we're trying to lose weight, we want about 70% fat and protein. And about 30% carbs.
What about putting weight on?
That's a whole different science.
Well, that's the young boys.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so I think that's good for today. So let's go in. Okay, so this is a new program for This Body Now and in the future. The old program for This Body is no longer necessary now in the future. Hallelujah and amen. And now I'm 100% David.
100% David.
And hold out. He was a whiz kid at your age, Jack. Super fast and in the
Pretty silly too, though.
yeah, well, nothing wrong with that. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, Belinda, we'll get this to you today. Thanks, David. You're a
Good luck with
champion.
it, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.